I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Swiss Chalet's festive special is back. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The festive special, only at Swiss Chalet.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Championship Sunday here at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel in North Bay, Ontario at the North Bay Granite Club. My name's Jim Nix, and I'm joined this morning by Shawn, Joyce. And Shawn, we've got quarterfinal action here between St. George's and Schwaller. How did these teams get here?
They won more games than they lost. Both of these teams ended up 3-1 in round robin play, and I think the St. George team ended up in one of the pools that, it's unfortunate. We were talking about it before we went to air that in these small pool round robins, in this particular event, you ended up with 10 teams at 3 wins or better, and so 2 of them didn't make it through to the playoffs just by virtue of the tiebreakers. And Laurie was one of those ones. She had a head-to-head win, I believe it was, over both of the teams in her pool. Let me double check that.
She also had the lowest draw to the button of the 3 teams too, so no matter what way it would have got her there, I think.
I hadn't even looked those up yet, so.
Oh, sorry about that. I just
no worries. So
I forgot how early it is where you are.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the first events that we've seen where we actually had access to the draw to the button scores as well. We don't always get that information.
Yeah, that was good to have. Yeah. As we were doing the game last night, we were trying to sort it out. So St. George's has just sort of looking for a second here. George is throwing a corner guard. So St. George's actually has hammer here in the first end. Sorry about that. We had that maybe a little backwards, but St. George's is playing with 3 again. She played the whole spiel with 3. You do see that a lot at the highest ends in the bigger spiels. If a team doesn't have a 4th player, or doesn't carry a 5th player with them all the time, they will go with 3.
And I haven't seen this team play yet this year, but I would imagine they're playing shorthanded a fair bit, only because it's a little bit more of a trip for Jamie Sinclair every time they play.
Yeah, I don't know exactly where Jamie's residing. I think she part of the time is in Ontario, and part of the time, at least when I see some of her renovation projects on social media, it seems like she's in Ontario most of the time, but probably not. And Lisa Weigel does play a lot of mixed doubles, so Lisa probably misses some games as well. I did do their first 2 games, and they won 1 and lost 1. They took a little while to get going, but they played much better as we moved on, as most teams do in these events. Schwaller, just a very, very young junior team out of Limmattal-Wetzikon, Switzerland. Did play in this junior Spiel, Super Spiel in Ottawa last week and lost in the semifinals in that one. Played a really good game last night. Lost a squeaker 5-4 to Haley Armstrong in the game that we did on Curling Stadium.
I'm going to wait for you to try to pronounce the second's name, because on the roster that I've got, there's a kind of bunch of symbols in there that don't look like they should belong in somebody's name.
Yeah, I actually Googled this one yesterday and tried to get a pronunciation, and it seems like it's simpler than it looks, if it's right, but I have to assume it is, and it's Seiki. The L is silent, and somehow out of SZE you get say, and so it's just Seiki, basically, is how I say it. Nobody corrected us online, but I think that's because everybody is usually in the middle of the night in Switzerland when we're doing these games.
Well, you're seeing something different than I am. Than the roster that I've got, her last name is spelled SZA with a line over it. Copyright symbol. Kely.
Yeah, that's a little glitch this morning. That wasn't there before. It was
Okay.
yeah. So St. George is now going to play the come around the blue guard. This one looks a little warm. And crashes on that guard.
Front's getting kind of congested, but still nothing in the rings.
Yeah, there's no fear in this Schwaller team. They will be really aggressive. Last night's game was the first of very few that the first end was wild and woolly. Both teams went hard at it in the first end. So I mentioned they are very young, and I thought they played very well last night. They're just sometimes tactically it's a little bit of a question mark on what's happening, but this one's going to go a little deep. St. George is trying to follow that down. Jamie Sinclair. Jamie actually lives in Manotick, just outside of Ottawa. And if you ever followed her on social media, she renovated an old church, which is or is in the process of renovating an old church. She it was quite interesting actually. She's quite a carpenter and builder, as well as an amazing curler. Emily going hard on this one. She'll get it by. Looks like they're going to try to take it right back to the blue. Good shot. I don't know why you take it back that far, but
I think recognizing that by the time they swept it that hard to get it by the guard, it was going to be behind the tee line anyway. If it's going to be behind the tee line, you want it well back there.
yeah, good point. I was really impressed with Emily Riley sweeping in the first game or two that we did, because they were both St. George's games, and doing 95% of it on her own, and a really, really strong sweeper, I thought. So Schwaller's third, Jana Salterman.
This one hanging out.
Yeah, perfect weight. Nice has had pretty good finish this week, Shawn. I think for the most part, if you can get the weight right, you can get a really nice finish.
Yeah, our camera angle shows it really well too. The thrower's camera angle, you can usually see the break start just outside the hog line. Big move towards the middle. Have to admit, I haven't seen as many draws to the outside as I usually see. There's been a lot of you throw that center guard up, I'm coming around it. I haven't seen as many teams go to the corner, but certainly lots of movement to the middle.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And even when they throw the corner guard up, and it doesn't seem to use a lot of steam, he's going to tick the guard here. So a couple of misses this end for Jamie Sinclair. This team does talk a little bit more than they steer around with the broom. Sometimes we can tell what they're going to do just by all the broom tapping here and tapping there. And last night it was a little hard. Both teams seemed to do more talk about it than indicated, so it was a little hard for us announcing it. I think she's going right in on this one, though.
I would tend to think so. If you get about 3/4 buried and half in the 4-foot, you sit 2 and it'll still protect the shot stone. But the miss is short, right? If you come up short, it guards the shot stone, and Laurie's going to have to make a decision.
Couple of left-handers on the Schwaller team. This one looks quite good if it's not heavy.
The line looks good. It looks strong to me.
Yeah, a couple feet from being really good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it depends on whether or not Laurie can get to the inside of that. It's a tight port with a reverse stagger, which means if she's going to make the port, she's got to throw a little bit of weight. If she's got to throw weight, she may not get the finish to get to the inside of that shot stone.
Yeah, exactly.
She's looking at the run back as well. She maybe doesn't think she can get to the inside with weight, so she's going to play the run back.
Yeah, the nice thing with this, if you can make it right, you could be sitting 2 after this. Certainly the run back double is there. Although in the first end, it's sometimes a little hard to know where to put the broom to make it, but she's having a good look at it. She's kind of questioning it a little bit, but looks like she settled in on it. Let Emily know exactly what she's doing.
The scary part of throwing it is if you just miss it, your shooter's probably staying up there for a guard too. And if you hit this just on the high side, and they talk about the announcer's jinx, and I shouldn't even point this out, but you could run this between the blues, pick the red out of the back 4 foot, and you could be facing 3 after this, and Shot Rock would be guarded.
That's true.
So
you're in a mean mood this morning.
Well, I mean, it's there, and that I think is the hesitation, is because there is some risk playing this.
Yeah, for sure. She looks like she's going to be pretty good. It's going to get just enough curl, and there it is. That's a super shot by Laurie St. George's here in number 1. We'll have another look at it.
Got a little bit of spin up at the end too, which helps because it forces Schwaller to make a choice now. Do you play the hit and roll in, or are you playing the slash double?
Yeah. That's a great shot. It was only, like you said, it was probably about a half an inch away from making that hole, though. So
yeah,
it was scary for a little while there for the team from Montreal, Quebec.
We were watching the replay when they made their decision, so I don't know yet whether she's playing. There's some risk playing the slash too, because if you hit the first one a little thick,
yeah,
I think the second one onto the blue.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to be the in-off to try to
hit and roll undercover.
Yeah. Although they're not necessarily sweeping it that way because it's got a curl to make that, so she's maybe not doing that.
No, they were playing the slash, and they got what I said. You've got to be careful. It's we just saw it both ways. You were both teams playing shots where the made shot was only a fraction of an inch off disaster. Well, there was the disaster, because now Laurie St. George has the chance to pick up 3 here in the opening end.
Yeah, that sort of lends itself to what I mentioned earlier about a couple of the calls that they make. It, for me there, the hit and roll was a much better option for a variety of reasons, including the fact that you would have sat really, really well if you had made that. And this one ends up being a hit for 3. So, it just did not maybe quite as well thought out as it could have been. That was a tough slash to make and stay. And St. George's with an outturned hit going to the outside, which, as we said, we haven't seen a whole lot of. Should be, by after playing 4 games this weekend, probably feel pretty good about knowing where to put the broom here. Used to learn this in practice, but not anymore. Nobody plays these in practice. Emily Riley looks good.
As is always the case on the last rock, when you don't need it, you roll perfectly behind cover.
Exactly, yeah. So a great shot by Laurie St. George's, and a bit of a surprise ending to that end, but she does pick up 3 here in the first end of our quarterfinal match between St. George's and Schwaller, and we'll be back right after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
one, you got two, go!
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
'Tis the season to enjoy Swiss Chalet's festive special. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. Your favorite tradition, the festive special. Only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet.
So we're back for end number 2 here in North Bay at the North Bay Granite Club. Laurie St. George is picking up 3 in the first end, Shawn, and it kind of came a little bit out of nowhere.
Yeah, it did for sure. It was probably a little bit of a almost that shock feeling after that, because it didn't look like it was Laurie St. George's end most of the way through. It was one bad miss on Schwaller's final stone. It gave the opportunity. You know, she makes the double. It's probably a force.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a bit of an odd end that way. It did look for a while like Laurie was going to be possibly giving up a steal, but at best scrambling to get 1 here in that first end. So St. George's goes in the house, typical with a 3-0 lead of strategy you're going to have sometimes, even if you don't have a 3-0 lead. And Schwaller throws up the corner guard. St. George's will now play a guard.
Yeah, you'll see that a lot, especially with, as you said, any kind of lead, because you know your opponent's going to throw the corner guard. So you can come right in on the first one, let them throw the corner, and you guard on your second.
Yeah, just feels like an easier way to me too. So
it's the easier way to make sure you're covered. The other way to play it, you throw the center guard first, but then sometimes your opposition doesn't throw the corner guard. They come around your center, and changes the way you play the whole end. If you want to be shot rock first, you may as well come in and then guard it on the second one. Let them throw the corner and hope they never get a chance to use it.
Yeah. Schwaller is going to try to take advantage of the corner here right away, though. Oh, a great sweeping job. Snuck it by the inside guard. Made it around the corner, pretty much fully buried. That's a terrific team shot, that one. I say Schwaller does play with no fear. She may not always play the shot that everyone likes, but she does play with no fear. And the good thing when you're at this age and you play that way, you learn to play the game and not be afraid of situations. So that's I kind of like it.
You won't very often get in trouble as long as you make whatever shot you call.
Yes, true enough. Emily Riley now being asked to remove that blue stone. She'll probably see a third of it or so from the hack, and we know if you throw the right weight, you will get finish. Jamie sweeping to actually to hold it straight. She may take this guard. Oh, she just sneaks it by.
That was important too, because that's still just the 5th stone of the end. So had she crashed the guard and removed it from play, that's a free guard zone violation. Everything would have gone back.
Yeah, good point. And having a look at it here, you'll see it doesn't get by much. Whoa. All swept by Jamie Sinclair. No turn hit for Schwaller.
Through that reverse stagger port.
Yeah. Ton of handle. Oh, very nicely done. Maybe a little challenge getting to that red one, but it's a nice shot. I mentioned earlier, Jamie lives in Manotick. I lived in Ottawa for a number of years and played a number of times in Manotick in the city of Ottawa, Spiel, and a couple of other events. And the little Crown Club in Manotick was rumored always to have been built on a on a peat bog or something, and in the spring, you could play sometimes 6, 8, 10 inches of negative ice. And man, I think it was a good place to learn a lot of stuff about ice and how to read ice. Come around here. Really Riley working hard to try to make it curl. She swept from every possible position on that shot, including going backwards. Schwaller's going to peel his guard. Try to make the double.
Yeah, over the top. The other option, she could try to come straight back, and if she did come straight back and caught it, she might come across, get the other red. The danger is you go into the blue, and you're going to leave a center guard. She might have to go that way now, though.
Yeah, she's
going to stuff it. Gets the guard off the center line, though. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, not horrible. She could have actually played the one in the house there, too, I think, Shawn. And she chose to do so. She could have just played that and stayed without too much trouble, I think. And
could have, yeah. The guard was probably a bigger problem for them. And it's off the center line now, although it's a little harder still now to get at that blue-red combination behind the corner.
Yeah, it's either a run back or we wait till later and hope we can make a double there. A tight guard call for Jamie Sinclair. This team makes it to the final. It's going to be a long day for the one sweeper. Starting to move now, as you said, just outside the hog line. It starts to go sideways. Very easy to oversweep a shot like that. Probably a little tighter than she'd like to be, but
still going to try to go over the top on it.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to do that, but it's a little wobble coming out, but back on track. It's got a curl, though. Not sure she's going to get this. I'll get it that way. Much trickier and much better result.
Well, except she's left a center guard now.
She has, but at least it's hers.
Yeah. That might be the hesitation from Laurie here. And by jamming that other one, it's now third shot. So
I don't really know what that indication was, but
I think she was talking about she had to be even with that stone on the side.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't want to leave the run double.
Yeah. Well, one thing about it too now, with the way the result of that previous shot, the run back on the blue on blue is not there.
No, but you can assume that Schwaller's going to run back the guard wherever you bury this.
Yeah. St. George's uses a lot of hand signals. I don't know how loud it is out there, but you see here he uses a lot of hand signals for the sweeper. Pretty good shot by Jamie Sinclair.
The run double is probably just there. The double is flat. She could hit the stone that was just delivered, try to roll behind the corner. She's probably shot rock. The corner being the red stone in the 12-foot. I didn't mind her idea of the freeze either. You make the freeze here. Now your shooter is high enough up that you could play the run double off your frozen stone.
Yeah.
They're gonna elect to hit shot rock, try to roll behind the red in the 12-foot.
Yeah, not a bad shot either. I think it's certainly a makeable shot. The right weight here. We have found that you do have to hit a little less of the stone to make the roll than you might typically think you do. So See if this might be a little bit too less.
Too far to be shot, but it's still third.
Yeah, carries a little tiny bit more risk for St. George's and what she does with this one.
Yeah, there's still a run back on that blue guard available, and you're just that close if you're Schwaller to possibly getting the 3 right back. You make the run double. You'd like to get this almost back to the same spot, although buried just a little bit more. That one didn't get under the guard.
No. Yeah, there's enough curly. You don't probably have to worry about it not curling and setting up a double with it on the 2 reds. It's probably going to curl enough to prevent that for sure. It's a matter of how deep you want this one to be. St. George's with their first here in the second end. Just a little bit of cleaning from Emily Riley.
Yeah, this is still well out there. Should start to move now, but it's got a long ways to go.
It will get there. Oh, very nice. St. George's has her A game so far this morning. She's only thrown 3 shots, but they've all been very nice.
I'm playing the run double now, if it's me.
Yeah, I am too. I think there's...
The angle's as good as it's going to get, right?
Yeah. It's a much harder shot now to make the roll. You just don't have quite as much room to work with. One thing about Zoe, once she decides, occasionally they take a long time to talk about some shots that you're kind of thinking seem obvious and not sure why and what they're looking at. Other times you can have a much more difficult situation. You just put some room down, goes and throws it. Not a lot of wasted energy in it. I think that cost him a little bit last night a couple times though, but so we mentioned left-hander. So in theory, this one will run a little straighter, but I'm not sure that's theory works all the time.
Play which one?
Sweeper going early to try to keep it straight.
Yeah, I'm not sure she got all the way out to the broom.
No. And she will crash on that one. And push in another red. Red now probably counting 3 now.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, that didn't take a good run at it, that one for sure. And I was with you too. I think the run back there would have been a better call on that shot. Had a couple options
But you make the shot she just called. If you make it, how are you ever getting a shot at that red in the 8-foot? So those other 2 blues were never coming back into play. That was your shot.
Yeah. I think you're just throwing a real tight guard on this, aren't you?
I get what she's looking at. She's thinking about coming in because there's always going to be the double off the red that was just pushed into the 8-foot, albeit a thin double. If you come right down to the face of your own, she can't make that double. And right on the face of your own, that stone at the edge of the 12-foot at the 9 o'clock position, I mean, if she tried the double in the middle, even if you're a little offset, I don't think she'd have shot rock.
Hmm.
And I think that's what they discussed. If you get the freeze on here and it's not perfect, she has to make the nose hit. She still won't get shot rock. Where do you draw?
Yeah.
If you're Schwaller?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Where's your draw path if you had a draw for 1 here?
So it looks like they're sort of splitting the difference here, going 8 foot. This one's going to have to curl. This one is out there a bit. And looks a little bit heavy.
Yeah, if she's going to tap it, she's got to be right on the nose. I think that does the job. I think you could play the double, the nose hit double, but I don't think your shooter's in far enough to be shot rock.
No, I think you're probably right. I don't know that you have a choice, though. I don't know where you're going to draw either. So,
well, that's the other side of it. It's a little risky. You could play, like it looks like she could see almost half of the shot rock. If you play at it, even with hack weight, your shooter's rolling into the one on the side.
Yeah.
But you can just see what you need to hit. If you hit it a little thin and go under that one, you're giving up a steal of 3.
Yeah.
She's going to try to play the double, and it looked like they lined it up. She'd get just across the face, hit just off the nose, still make the double, and hopefully they roll in far enough. I don't know if you can.
Yeah, I think this is one of those, despite the fact you hate the thought of it, you don't have a choice but to play it and quite possibly give up another point. But there's no good alternatives here, really. Let's have a little bit solid weight on this one. A little bit of a different line coming out.
The other unfortunate thing for her here, she feels like she knows her out turn better. You got a better chance making that shot if you could play the other turn.
And it looks like a steal of 2 for the St. George's team.
Jammed her pretty solid.
Get to it. Yeah. So a solid 5-0 lead for St. George's after 2 ends in our quarterfinal action here at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. We will be back just after the break.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's for our 50-day aged 7-ounce sirloin flame grilled with 2 sides and onion rings, all for just $25.99 every day. Premium steak without a premium price. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, Spiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
St. George's with a commanding 5-0 lead after 2 ends. Shawn, where does she go from here?
Well, she goes into the rings. She doesn't have to do too much now. It'll be all up to the Schwaller team to try to generate some offense, and St. George can just play straight defense. You will see them throw some rocks in towards the middle, and I expect her to come in twice here, actually. She might throw a guard on the 5th stone at the end if she can't see anything in the house yet, but that's more about, it's that cat and mouse that we talk about so much, is that you'll throw the 3 rocks to the middle, and it's not because you're trying to steal or think that you can steal. It's because you need to keep those rocks there. At some point in time, Schwaller has to deal with them, and while she's dealing with those, you can deal with the rocks on the corner. It is always interesting to see how these teams set these ends up. It's important to line these up.
So Emily Wiley Yeah, sorry, Shawn.
Yeah, you want to line them up, but you want a little bit of space in between them. You don't want to be frozen. Then they make the nose hit and stay frozen. So I think they're sweeping here to get a little tap when they realized they were going to be that close together. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So second corner guard going up for Schwaller. Split the corner guards.
Yeah. Some teams will throw the double corner on the same side.
Yeah, for sure. It's a strategy we never saw at all 5 years ago, but
No.
frequently now.
Well, yeah, and I think it has more to do with the conditioning of the rocks than anything else, because the rocks usually curl so much now that a corner guard can be in the way of your draw to the button path. So you are reluctant to throw corners on both sides, because then you don't have a path left to get to the button with your last one.
Exactly. So Laurie, pretty simple end for her. She's on the same shot 3 times in a row.
Yeah, they did call for this one in front of the house, I think. And you will see that once in a while. I mean, it's still only the third end, so they'll throw the guard. Later in the game, if it was this lopsided late in the game, you'd probably throw all 3 of them in the house and let them take a run at the triple, because you're going to play the double peel.
Sure. Good shot for Riley.
So now, as you typically see, Schwaller with 3 rocks in the middle is going to try to deal with the ones in the middle right away. She does have a shot where she can hit and roll behind the corner. She can get a little bit of everything, deal with one of those rocks in the middle and use the corner guard here all at the same time.
Very difficult shot coming up, though.
Well, it is, but you're down 5. The scoreboard says you don't get to play easy shots anymore.
Yeah. So a tough shot for second stone Seiki here. This is going to be pretty darn nice, though.
Yeah, maybe a little quiet.
Yeah, a little quiet and hit a little bit thicker than you wouldn't have thought that would have been a problem. But with that weight, just didn't get enough of a roll.
Yeah, and the weight selection is not horrible. I mean, it's not bad to leave that redstone at the back of the 12-foot, but if you're throwing that weight, you probably needed just a little bit more ice, because you have to hit that first one thinner to get the roll.
No problem for Jamie Sinclair.
Yeah, she would have liked to roll. That gives her a chance to play the double, and even if she doesn't get the second red one out, at least it kicks it out from behind the center guard. So she will have dealt with both of the rocks behind center here early in this end. Wow, this is tough from the intern. I was expecting an out-turn bullet.
Yeah. So Annika Seiki being asked to play the same shot Jamie Sinclair had and hopefully get a little roll. Got to get off that center guard first. Not going to, is she? No, just needed another half an inch of curl. Laurie's probably wondering where to put rocks now.
Yeah, I mean, you might like to peel a corner. The problem is the blue corner that she can get at, you peel it, and that's what they're going to play. There's still a double corner staggered on the other side. You can see Laurie looking across. This is one where you're almost hoping your shooter comes across and moves one of those, but you never tell the thrower that.
Yeah.
You tell the thrower that, and the thrower throws more weight and then hits the first one far too thin.
It's going to be in the neighborhood. There you go.
They're still overlapped.
Yeah. Like watching Jamie Sinclair throw, she just has this really nice delivery. Even when she's throwing the up weight like that, it just looks so easy. So the out turn come around for Schwaller. Third stone, yeah, that's Salterman. So it's a little bit heavy, but look at the sweepers. And
well, if it's heavy, they got to play the chip off the one in the 8-foot. I don't think you want to get by it.
It's light enough; it shouldn't go very far. It worked out pretty good. Worked out as good as it was going to be if you had made the shot. Maybe better. Yeah. Now you expect St. George's will peel the corners here, I think.
I think Laurie's trying to decide, and I think she's talked herself out of it. She was trying to decide, I think, if they could see enough of the red to play the red onto the blue stone in the rings, but they can't quite see all of the red, and I think she's decided to play the double peel.
Yeah, I think this makes way more sense.
Yeah, it does, for sure. Get rid of both corner guards. You're hoping to play the rest of the end in the house.
So it needs to curl a little bit more. Well, that didn't do the trick.
No.
Schwaller now going to play the freeze to the reds. She has a little something going if she can make this one good. Salterman needs to sink this one right in between the two, and definitely need a couple here. Be nice to get 3.
Yeah, well, 3's alive right now if she can make this freeze.
It is. So it needs to take that right-hand turn.
Yeah, it looks like it needs to curl a lot, but it's in the spot where it makes a lot of movement. The question is she going to bump off here?
Ooh, that doesn't help.
No, if she's got to wait for the freeze, that line would probably ended up pretty close. As it is, she leaves a double.
Yeah, I think you're right. It definitely, you just take a few feet off of that, take 3 feet off of that, and you definitely get over to those guards. Or
yeah,
to the two that were in the house. Sorry.
They finished so hard with draw weight, and that was just a little strong.
So St. George's has a fairly simple double. It will probably or possibly jam on her own a little bit, but it won't stay. So everything should go here if nothing else.
She won't mind losing her own if it actually clips it.
Yeah.
The double's thinner than you'd like, probably, but she's probably looking for about 1/4 of a stone.
Yeah.
They're close enough together. Half probably touches it, but I don't know whether it would get it out. She's going to come across the top half of it if she hits half.
St. George's probably have a fair bit of weight on this. Doesn't have to ramp it up huge, but we'll need a little bit of solid weight.
Just to hold it there.
Yeah. Looks like she should be good. And even spins back up. Another look at it here. A little tiny bit of a wiggle coming out when she's just getting in a position there, but worked out okay. Good shot. Schwaller's going to come around those corners.
Yeah, it's really all she's got at this point in time now. And the problem for her is that little bit of spin up that Laurie got on hers, the redstone you can see is now mostly exposed. If you dead bury this behind the corner, it's probably going to be a short little angle raise on the red if Laurie wants to take it on. You can't get shot rock buried here. You can only be second.
Be second shot, yeah. Don't know that this is going to do it. It's got to go, and it's got to curl a bunch. Schwaller will come up short. Actually ended up with pretty good line, but needed another 4 or 5 feet of weight. So a huge mess for Team Schwaller.
And Laurie St. George in kind of the same situation she was in last end. there's a double left there for Schwaller, but if she makes the double, she won't be shot rock.
Yeah.
You get this guard up in a good spot. And where does she even draw? She'd probably have to play for Schwaller, being the left hand, it would be her out-turn draw around the one that you're about to throw, and she probably has to chisel off the shot stone. I don't think she's going to have anything else. She doesn't have a straight draw path.
Yeah, I don't know if she can get enough of her blue that's in the 12-foot to tap it straight back.
Straight back, maybe. Depends where the guard is.
And it would have the right rotation. Well, not that it's going to make a lot of difference, but it would have at least slightly the right rotation if you did change the turn here. Not sure she's changing the shot a whole lot, just changing the turn.
This is probably an issue of if I'm going to over or under curl, you're better off to under curl on this turn than you would be on the other side.
Yeah, I agree. Put this right on the center line. Splitting the center line is going to be pretty good. She'll probably go a little over the center line just to enhance the chances of a bigger steal. See where Jamie's broom is, just a little bit over.
Well, this is not going to get what they had in mind.
No, not unless it comes off that blue one. Which it's going to. It's almost unfair when the team that's ahead 5-0 gets a shot.
Yeah, not even ended up where they wanted it, but not even close to the way they called it.
No. It does open up that little raise that I talked about a minute ago, though. And
yeah,
I think Schwaller has to be careful with her jump to play the double here because she does have to score here. She really can't afford to.
Yeah, I don't think she's looking at the double. I think she's looking at whether or not she can come in off the stone in the 8-foot and get a big enough piece of the 4-foot, which you maybe can, but it's really tough. Like, it's thin.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's usually one of those that the St. George's team just threw sort of by accident shots.
Yeah, well, you can't throw it with full hit. This is like a heavy draw, and it's like a split. It's like you're splitting in off that red stone and trying to end up in the 4-foot.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, the problem that you have, same issue as last end. I thought she'd throw her in turn at the one last end to try to get the roll. She can't get at it from her out turn. She's got to play it with her in turn, and that means she's going to come off that stone a little bit flatter, which means she has to hit a little bit thinner still.
Yeah, you're almost aiming at the hole that's not quite there.
If the hole was there, that's actually she could score playing the hole, but yeah.
Either way, it's a heap of trouble for Team Schwaller.
Yeah, this is, you got to throw back 4-foot weight to make the shot, and then it's so precise with the line to get the piece you need to redirect into the 4-foot. Half an inch too thick, you'll never get a big enough piece of the 4-foot.
This one looks not bad, actually. It doesn't curl too much. Well, that is a great curling shot. Just a terrific shot by Zoe Schwaller here to score a point in the third end. It's a long ways back. You'll have another look at it. It was a dandy.
Probably has to make this just to play the 4th end.
I would think you're right. Sweeper's doing a good job of carving it over and not quitting. I would have come off that a little quicker, and that might have been a mistake. And a little bit of sweep in action, and she gets shot rock without any trouble at all. So a terrific shot by Team Schwaller, and they will make it to the 4th end, which was the plan A. And trailing 5-1, we'll be back after the break.
Swiss Chalet's festive special is back. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. It's a tradition truly worth sharing. The festive special, only at Swiss Chalet.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Join us this March for the House of Hearts Charity Bonspiel in Duluth, Minnesota. Help raise funds for Project Joy, who provides meals for hungry kids in our community. Every donation helps to ensure no child goes hungry. Join us and make a difference. Together, we can spread joy.
It's good. You're right that it updates. So we are back for the fourth end, and St. George's still has a commanding lead, but a heck of a shot by Schwaller just to keep playing, Shawn.
Yeah, that was literally, I think, quite literally a game saver. If she's facing 5 here, if she doesn't get something out of this, it's entirely possible we see them shake hands after 3 ends. So
yeah, you're going to see this one more time, and just a little rub, like you say, about a quarter of a rock.
Yeah, it's a draw weight split, but it's a very tough shot because she had to come over the top of that red that was shot rock in the forefoot and still catch a piece of the four. You know, if you get down to ice level and look at the angle coming off that stone, she didn't have a lot of real estate to roll to because she touches the other red. So if she hits the first red a little too thin and touches the second one, she'll never get into the forefoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was anyway, it was a dandy. But she's got a long way to go. Down 5-1. Have to kind of pull out all the stops here. It's no more sort of saying, well, if we give them 1 and get 2, that works good if you're going to run out of ends in a hurry. So
yeah, that curler's math doesn't work for her anymore. She's going to need to pick up a steal somewhere along the way. It looks like they've determined to try and get it here in the fourth. Yeah,
she's got 2 perfect guards up. We rarely see that. The person comes up and throws 2 in a row, splitting the center line, nice spacing, and really well done by lead Ladina Ramstein.
We're going to see a no-tick violation. We are.
That's helpful for Team Schwaller.
Well, she's got a good start to this end as she could have hoped for. She's got the 2 guards, and even that rock that St. George has in the forefoot is probably a little deeper than they would have liked.
Yeah. So second stone, Annika Seiki. I hope that's close, that pronunciation. He's just going to throw a freeze. Okay, a little bit more maybe. Don't want to be heavy on this shot.
Well, you know, the bump's okay as long as you get close to the face. The problem here is this is well out there.
Yeah. Not the best of results.
Yeah, I mean, she gets away with it because it leaves a pocket. And why the pocket matters is it makes it a little tougher for St. George to just walk up there and peel guards.
Yeah.
You know what they're going to play. It's hard to peel both guards. You peel one, she's coming down and playing that freeze again. So they're going to play it first.
Does that surprise you a bit, though?
Well, yes and no. I mean, she could make a play on the second shot stone, but she can't roll on top of her own. So the only play is to roll away. Hitting it right there doesn't really change things for you. So this is probably the best shot to take the pocket away from the other team for now. It's not really about stealing, or I guess she's got last rock. It's not really about trying to score the extra point here. This is all about taking the pocket away from your opposition. She wanted to get to the red one, though, not the blue.
Yeah, I actually thought she'd play the peel there and try to get both of them and not worry about really what happened in the house, but
you certainly could.
Yeah. So Schwaller's going to play another freeze. Just pop a rock in there and hopefully get it to where it's not going to be able to be removed, and you can maybe promote it a little bit later. She's Still have your guards to work with. I'm sure they won't stay there all the time, but they might, depending on where these rocks end up. Laurie was aggressive enough to play that previous shot. She just may stay with that. Want to get this one here all the way to it.
Yeah, I think if the angles in the house now favor St. George enough, she peels the guards.
Yeah, I think they definitely...
Even just a straight peel one of them. You don't even have to go after both of them.
Yeah.
I think the shot on the last one, the reason she's playing it was to try to take away the freeze from the Schwaller team, and then Schwaller doesn't make the freeze anyway. Schwaller doesn't really have a shot right now. So you walk up, peel the guard, she's going to have to play some kind of setup, and that gives you time to peel both guards.
Yeah, it's at least a couple shots away, and it might be 3 shots away for her to get in there with those stones the way they're lined up. Good peel for Sinclair. Schwaller looking to come the other way now. I say she doesn't get rattled by rocks in the house or how many there are. She just keeps plodding along.
Has to get to the face this time.
Looks okay. Having a little trouble seeing. Going to move that blue one a little bit. Might not be horrible. Leader, you still have a run if you need it. You just have a hole to go through if she doesn't plug it.
It's taking a long time to peel the guard here.
Yeah.
That's not what you need.
No.
It's a more aggressive call than you need to make. I mean, it's not bad if you make it, but if you ever nose hit it, it's just another rock that helps your opposition.
St. George is giving this one some serious thought.
Starting to look at peel the guard now, which is, she can see the scoreboard from where she's standing.
Yeah, for a veteran skip, this is taking a long time to make this call.
This is an aggressive call. I mean, it's in a closer game, you might play this because you're trying to score. And I get the dilemma she's in is we're only in the 4th end. Can you play all-out defense for 5 ends? But I think a lot of teams you'd see in this situation would decide, well, we're playing all-out defense until they force us to switch.
It's actually going to work out pretty good.
Yeah, that's a pretty good shot. Continues to put pressure on the other team this way.
So with just 3 to come for Schwaller, she's going to have to make a bit of a move here, and she is. She's going to try to bump this blue one up, backline weight, and just free up the other red. Like I say, it's still, you might take all 3 shots and 3 misses to be able to score here. But for now, we'll see what she gets out of this one.
Yeah, this is mostly about trying to break up that red-blue freeze in the house.
Yeah, it's not going to work.
Not going to get by.
Give her a couple options, at least. Not a very good throw, though, for Solterman. She won't be very happy with that one, I don't think. Although it does, like I say, it does give you maybe a couple options.
Well, it confuses things for Laurie. Like, there's a lot of rocks in play. What do you move here? It's hard to make a play on the blues in the center of the house because the red that's sandwiched in between them is kind of protected by the angles on the blues. She could hit the one that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th shot right now, but it's not likely to ever come back into play. So you're hitting a rock just because it's the other color, which not wrong in this situation.
No, it's interesting here. You definitely don't want to do something that, I mean, you're sitting 2, and both of them right now are very difficult for Schwaller to deal with and to score. Even if she had hammer, she would have a hard time scoring right now. So you don't want to make it easier.
I think if you're hitting this blue stone, I don't think you even want to roll. Because if you roll to the inside, you're liable to move the one that that hit and roll that you got on your last one, roll to a pretty good spot. I don't think you want to roll. I don't think you want to roll into that stone and move it.
No, exactly. So here comes it appears to be just a nose hit shot for St. George's. And third, Jamie Sinclair asking for the sweep. See what happens. She's not going to roll very far.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too, given the situation in the house.
Yeah.
I really don't know what she has here. She's going to...
Well, I think and I'm not sure it's there. I think what she's looking at, you play the double on the reds in the middle.
Yeah.
So the one at the 12-foot straight back onto the one that's got a piece of the button. You play that double, and then she blasts on the next one to kill the red.
Yeah, this might be...
I'm not sure who's got second shot. The blue might be second, actually.
Oh, okay. I wasn't thinking that all along, but...
Neither was I, but... I mean, even if the blue's second, it's still... I mean, it goes pretty easy.
Yeah. I think this is more a case of let's play this, and then we'll hopefully have something on the next one, because right now we're way in.
If she makes the double and she's got second shot on the side, then Laurie probably has to do something with it, and there might be something for her last one to get around the rock she's about to throw.
Yeah.
This is a long ways from the nose yet, though.
It is. Starting to move now.
She needs to stay right there.
She will. That's a very good shot for Zoe Schwaller. To say, I don't know that you'll see it again here. Took a long time to come, Shawn, but finally got there.
Yeah.
Really nice. I don't know what it really does for you. Maybe we can get... Here we go.
She might have shot rock right now. I think she does. So
I think
what does Laurie play? I mean, you could pick it out, but then the blue-red, now it's accessible. You could play the blue at the top of the 8-foot, and that might be what she ends up playing. I mean, you blast the blue stone at the top of the 8-foot, hit half a rock. Both blues are going. The question will be, where does the red end up? It might leave the house, or it might end up spinning in behind those other two. And right now, I think Laurie's got, of the two stones just biting the 12-foot, I think she's got shot. If it leaves the house altogether, it does leave the come around. You could basically play the triple on the 3 that are near the 4-foot. Now, one just in the 8-foot, and the other 2 in the 4-foot. But if everything leaves the house, it's going to leave the draw for Schwaller.
It is difficult to... It looks like she's going to throw us a little bit of weight at this. I was going to say it is a little bit difficult to remove that back blue and not set up a possible double for Schwaller or another raise takeout for Schwaller to get shot back. And
yeah, that's why I think you're looking at playing this. Now, if you hit the first one thin enough, where you just catch a piece of the red, the two blues go, and the red's going to have to spin, but it might stay in the button area.
Yeah, you still may end up giving Schwaller a shot, but you may also spin it in enough that it's half behind the guard. And
yeah, if you spin it in, it's going to make her shot much harder. If it spins well past that, and it could, like that red might spin, I mean, it might leave or spin all the way over to the other side of the 8-foot. Then she's going to have a draw.
So but here's St. George's coming with the heat. Trying to keep it straight. Almost seems a little bit too thin. But actually, it worked out exactly as we said could work out.
Yeah, just spun a little too far, because now it actually provides some backing.
It does that.
If it was going to spin that far, you'd probably be happy if it had spun all the way over into the 8-foot wide open. That's stones right there isn't going to help you, and it could only help your opposition. Now, this shot still has to be made.
Yeah, it's not easy. If you throw this just a tiny little bit heavy, you don't get over to the red one, and you might slide to the back of the 8-foot. So no easy shot for Schwaller, but she's not afraid to throw the hard ones. And this is a big one. This is to keep you in the game, maybe. It still might be able to be removed, but we'll have to see. Say got to make it first. Free shot. Sweeper taking a glance at the watch. Is this going to get over enough?
Yeah, she's got a nice line coming in.
Good. Just going to be that little bit heavy. Oh, nice shot. Very good shot. Would have been nice if that had just dug in just a few inches higher than that, and then you would have got another inch or so of curl, but pretty good shot. As not surprised here that Laurie St. George's will play the run on a red.
It's not without risk.
No.
She's probably thinking the only way she hurts herself is she curls up to the nose, doubles out the reds, but that's not the only way she hurts herself. If you're thin on the first one, you drive it across the face of the blue, you'll kick the blue into the red. Still safer playing this one than it is to play the blue back. The angle's better on the blue because it's a nose hit, but it's just too much risk.
Yeah. So Laurie St. George's taking a run at the raised takeout. She makes it. She has a commanding lead. She misses it. She has a 3-point lead. Unless she misses it really bad, then she might only have a 2-point lead. This looks pretty close. Has to curl a bit, and I think it's going to be good. And no, it doesn't. And interesting. And a great shot by Schwaller. So another end that kind of out of nowhere. Schwaller scores 1. Closes the gap to 5-2. And we'll be right after the break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Hey Canada, head on down to Montana's and get the best of both worlds. Enjoy our 7-ounce sirloin aged for 50 days, flame grilled and served with your choice of 2 sides and onion rings. Just $25.99 every day. Plus, for a limited time, add a Canadian lobster tail to surf your turf. Only $10 more. Dive into this or our lobster spinach dip, lobster mac and cheese, and more. Only for a limited time. Come for the barbecue, stay for the flavor. Only at Montana's, Canada's home for barbecue.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
We're back after the break. And a 1-point score for Schwaller, and in number 4 closes the gap a little bit, Shawn.
It does. She's still in a situation where she's going to have to play a little bit aggressively. You know, she's 3 down, 4 ends to play. She can afford to force one more single. She's going to have to make sure she gets a crooked number when she gets the hammer back. But other than that, she's going to have to steal.
Yeah, I agree. I was thinking that just as well, and I was thinking you probably like to steal another end, and that might, when you get there, then you might be able to afford to give up 1 point somewhere. But for now, it's all out. Try to steal, same as the last end. The last end took a long time, looking like it was going to be even remotely possible to steal, but eventually she did. She made a great shot, and Laurie came within just a hair of a good shot and a hair of a really bad shot. So up goes the second guard. Schwaller Lee Stone has that guard weight down in her pocket for sure. That was another 2 really nice guards.
Yeah, they had to sweep that one a little bit more than they would have liked, but it was necessary to get back to touching the center line. So they're a little closer together this time. Doesn't matter yet, but eventually Laurie will have a chance to play some double peels.
Yeah. So the turn come around for Emily Riley. She's going to help out with the broom a little bit here. Nicely done. They took that a long way. But it does give some options for Schwaller, especially with the stagger. She's not going to go that way right now, but
yeah. It's a better setup in the house this time for St. George than she had last end. The draw was made nice to the top of the button last end, but that's probably a little deep in this situation because here you see when everything goes according to plan, those first 4 shots, Schwaller's going to have to play the freeze here. Well, now that freeze is just barely in the 8-foot. She's not going to get there.
No. So here comes the peel for St. George's.
Yeah, and here's the problem with having those 2 guards so close together. She's got a chance to go after 2 of them. A little bit of risk that it comes into the rocks in the rings, but again, they're up high enough that they're not a huge threat to St. George. She jams something, situation's not quite as good as it was, but it's still not looking like a steal.
Second in a row, Laurie seems a little bit more worried about these peels than I think she needs to be. I think this early in the end, it's like, let's get rid of them. And yeah, things might not be perfect in the house when you're done, but you're going to be in a great position if you get rid of both these guards. Especially with those being higher, as you say. Emily Riley. Oh, a little sit down there. It's only going to get the one. Schwaller going right around. This shot I thought she might even do in the last shot, but she's going to go in now. Second stone, Annika Seiki. They got to go on this, I think. Or maybe she just throwing the guard up.
I think they're going plan B now. They were coming right around everything, but this is light, so they're going to corner freeze the red.
Well, he just says, take them all out. It's a good way to do it. So another peel. This time Jamie Sinclair.
Yeah, you'd love to just double peel the guards. The problem is that the one you're going to hit first is coming back towards those rocks in the rings. So you're hoping to move all 3 blues and at least not leave them corner frozen.
She's going to get a couple of them anyways. Give me all 3.
Yeah, that's still better. It's spread out the rocks that are in the rings.
Yeah, I think that worked out pretty good for them.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough to get the third one out, but you couldn't leave the corner freeze, and you would have hated to just, there was also the possibility you could hit the blue onto the second guard, have it come dead into the side of that blue and stay frozen on the red. So moving all of them, nothing's frozen anymore. There's no pockets anywhere.
Yeah, good. I think it's a pretty good result for Team St. George's on that one.
Yeah, it's tough to see any way that Schwaller can pick up a steal here now. She's probably playing for the force at this point in time, and you got to have better execution than this to get the force too.
Yeah, that was not a good shot.
No.
St. George's will now call appeal on the center one.
Yeah, she's got to hit the stone in the 12-foot. I think all the discussion here, the debate is where do you try to roll with the shooter? It's hard to straight peel it out because you'd be running it towards that stone in the 8-foot. Nose hit's probably not great.
No, if you can find a way to peel it out,
it's going to be close to a jam.
It's really thin though. Might go through the hole.
Over the top. Wow.
We're very fortunate there. That was lucky to be able to get that out that way. Schwaller now asked Soderman to play the out-turn draw. She just had this shot, so she's hopefully going to be able to just add a few feet and put it in a good position. Get a little tight. And she should be okay for line if she's got the weight. Not sure she has. It's definitely going to be short. So a couple of not good shots by
yeah, you know what? I'm not sure short's horrible there. She makes the draw, and Laurie could just switch gears because she's not in any danger of giving up a steal. If you look at where that ended, how do you ended up? How do you play the double peel? Like, where is that stone going? Other than right into the stone in the 4-foot.
Yeah, I think a half rock, Shawn. That goes.
You think it'll go over the top?
Yeah. Anything less than that, no, might not. Jamie Sinclair, out-turn peel attempt. We're going to find out because she's going to hit a half rock. And
pretty much right into it, yep.
I thought it would go over the top, but I was wrong.
Well, even that's still not bad for Laurie St. George. It's like, how are you stealing this end if you're Schwaller? But you are sitting good, make one good shot here, and you got a chance for your force at least. And we did say she's going to have that opportunity somewhere along the line. She can make it here, try to pick up, it's got to be at least 2, and ideally you'd like to score 3 when you get that hammer, and then she's got to steal after that.
Yeah, I think you're right. It at least does give Schwaller a chance to kind of escape with a steal, with a force here, which she didn't look like she was going to have maybe a minute ago. So
you get the force here, and the curler's math still kind of works. It's not the force after that, but you get the force here, you can score 2, and then you only have to steal 1 point at a time. You'd have to steal 7, 8, and an extra end.
You don't like the way the sweepers are approaching this one, though. Sorry, Shawn.
No, she had to get to the corner here because that redstone is still shot rock.
Yeah, it's close, yeah. Yeah, it would have been better, even if it got over there and just bumped that a few inches. The weight would have been okay for that. You still would have sat 2, and it would have been.
Because if Laurie can sit 2 after this, for you to get the force, you got to make the double somehow, and it's not going to be an easy double.
No.
Unless she happens to hit it right on the nose, but that's not the call. She gets any roll at all, her shooter's going to be a little bit lower than the other stone, and you can't see all of the other stones, so that the double's real tough.
Really, Riley indicating it might be down a little bit, but doesn't look like that's going to hurt her. This one's going to have to go a bit to stay.
Yeah, it's got to stay, though.
And it will not. And it will actually get out enough that it's not even number 3. Maybe it's number 3, but either way, opens the door for Schwaller to once again just a little tap, and she'll sit 2.
Yeah, probably the best result she could get here is just ever so slightly on the corner. As you said, tap it a couple of inches to sit 2, and her shooter might have a sliver of the forefoot. That's the most she's going to get. It's just a sliver of the forefoot.
That might be enough, though. It might.
Well, if you sit 2, does Laurie St. George, does she have to make a choice? Like, again, when you're up 3, are you going to draw against 2, or is she going to hit? And if she hits the one at the top, she's got to roll in to get shot rock.
Yeah.
Which is a tough shot.
Yeah. I like the initial line on this one a little better than the last one. Sweeper's working hard now. You really would like to move that a little bit.
Yeah.
You got to get there first, but
if you don't move it, St. George is only facing 1, and that makes her decision a lot easier. They didn't get there. It's a draw for 2.
Whoa. That's a very unfortunate error for Schwaller.
Well, she's looking at the hit. She must think they're close. And it is close. I think it's 1 red, and it kind of looks like the way they played that end, it was 1 red.
Yeah, I would agree with you, but I also, I agree too that Laurie certainly looked like she might play the hit and roll, which would indicate they're definitely not.
They're not sure their shot anyway.
Yeah, at the very least, not sure, yeah. Well, it does make this shot a little bit more interesting. Not too bad for Schwaller there. That was a perfect line on that shot. Just needed to go another 2 feet. Here's St. George's with a chance for 2. Looking for a hit and a little bit of a roll. Used to come up a bit. Emily Riley trying to make it curl.
Not come up a lot. Yeah.
And St. George's will only get 1 to keep the curler's math alive, Shawn. So we'll go to break, and we'll be back with you just in a minute.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardlines Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
What do you got? You got 1, you got 2, yeah!
Just 1 more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
We're back for end number 6 here at the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. Jim Nix with Shawn Joyce, bringing you quarterfinal action between St. George's and Schwaller. Schwaller is finding a way to stay alive, maybe hanging by a bit of a thread, Shawn, but she's still in the game.
A thread is better than being behind the glass having a drink. So you'll see them throw, I expect, 2 corner guards here. You go all out for your 3. If you only get 2, you're still in it. This will be her
Yeah.
last chance with the hammer. She can't afford to give up any more points. She's going to have to score. She needs a crooked number here, and then it's steal out from this point on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's St. George's there in the last end did have a chance to maybe even end this game if she makes that shot, but just
Might
didn't
have.
take it. Yeah.
Because the curler's math wouldn't have worked after that. Yeah.
No.
And again, it's not that take 2, force 1, but she doesn't have to get crazy. If she scores 2 and then steals 1 point at a time, it'll still work. So you don't have to reinvent the strategy handbook. You're not trying to steal a deuce or anything like that.
Yeah, absolutely imperative to score 2 here, though. It's anything less than that, and you're fighting what would normally be a losing battle. Once in a blue moon, somebody comes back from that, but trying to steal your way out down 3 with 2 ends to go is like playing match play with being down 3 with 2 holes to go. It just doesn't work so good. Corner guard went up. The lead's done a great job for Schwaller. Everything she's thrown, she's put pretty much exactly where she wants it. So
looks like she's playing the second corner on the same side this time.
It's interesting. It's just interesting to think of why one versus one time going one way, one time going the other way. But
maybe just that they got the guard tighter this time.
Yeah, and I probably messed up the lead a little bit here because the sweepers are not touching this, so it's obviously heavy. We'll be around the corner, though.
If it stops.
If it stops, yeah, exactly.
This is a really heavy for what was supposed to be a long guard. That's 20 feet heavy.
Yeah, that's a surprise. That's like I say, that Ladina Ramstein has had a really good game, but that was not a good one there. St. George's now come right in again.
Probably longer than they would have liked. It got the line they wanted.
Yeah, I think a little bit for sure. It's certainly enough room there for Schwaller to come around and start working in there a little bit. Just trying to move these a little bit. Will she get it by the guard? She's really close, and she will get right to the nose. Very nicely done, and does remove the stone. St. George's trying to decide what to do. Opts to peel the corner. Maybe opts to peel the corner.
It's an option. They're discussing it. It's never bad to peel the corner guard.
No, exactly.
You know that they're going to make the play to the center, though. If you're going to play the freeze in the middle, I think you want to move it a little bit because you need to break up the blue-red angle that's there right now. I don't think you want to just stay frozen on the corner. You'll just leave a squeeze on the blue where it goes in behind cover.
Jamie Sinclair throwing a freeze, maybe a freeze with a little tap.
Yeah, you'd like to get to the nose on the blue and tap it back maybe a foot, and then just because of the angle on the blue-red, what'll happen is the red will come a little to the open side, not a lot, and the blue should roll just the other way, and then you're hoping that the red-blue angle will be angled to go over the top of the red shot stone. Oh, just needed to move just a hair further. They probably all go now, but...
Yeah, almost exactly what you said. It's it just had to have a little more power to it. Schwaller also going to play a little bump here and hope to set up the angles.
Well, I think she's trying to use the angles while they're there. If you can play the red onto the blue.
And she's not playing a little bump either. She's actually throwing a hit.
No, yeah. You want to move the blue onto the red stone behind it and have it roll in behind cover. You're still looking to stay frozen blue-red at the top, though. She wants to get close to the face, and this is not going to do that. Shoot her roll to a good spot, though. If that stays higher, she probably leaves a double on the blues. The red-blue on the other side's there. Wow, I don't see any way you're staying in front of the tee line playing that.
No. I would think this would be the shot. I just...
Yeah.
Really see it.
The only reason she's hesitating is because you could play this later. Like, if you leave it, it's always there.
Yeah.
So, I don't fault her for trying to find something else. I'm just not sure there's anything else there.
Jamie Sinclair playing a really, really short raised takeout. And this one is curling hard. Should be good if she sneaks it by, and she does. Very well done. And one more look at it. Millie Riley on the brush. And flop turned out pretty good. Interesting call here for Schwaller. Oh, she hasn't called it yet. It looked like for a minute she was going to hit the high yellow one. Maybe try to roll behind the corner. Sit number 345. Change that now.
You must have a different screenshot than I do. I'm not seeing any yellow ones anywhere. But
oh, did I say yellow? No.
Yeah. I didn't mind her first call. I know what you were looking at. She was looking at hitting the red in the 12 foot and try to roll behind the corner. I still don't mind it, especially because there's a chance you won't make the double. But if you just rub that stone that's in behind the guard on the way by and push it out into the open, now you're sitting, third, fourth, and fifth, and there's probably going to be a double available in the middle. I'm just not positive she can get across the face enough to touch it. If she can touch that one that's in behind cover and move it over so that she's got a double on the reds, it's suddenly looking like a potential really big score here.
Yeah. This one's got a curl. Be very, very close to making that.
She got the roll.
It's good.
Didn't touch the other stone, but she's still sitting third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah. The only thing I thought made have been better, if she played the back one and rolled in behind the reds, the red double would have still been there. And would have been easier than the current red double, I guess, is what I'm thinking.
Well, yeah, but if you're rolling behind the reds and she hits the next one exactly the way she just hit it, all you're doing is jamming it on the blue stone at the back. I didn't mind the hit and roll behind the corner. Now, the problem is when it doesn't touch that other stone, you still got some difficulty into how you're getting rid of the reds, but it's this pileup of blue stones around the outside. You've got Laurie St. George sitting two in the middle, and she's got to hit a rock in the edge of the 12 foot because she just can't continue to leave these rocks pile up.
And she makes the hit and roll to where? That was interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's better.
Yeah, I think that turned out okay for her.
Well, the reds are getting very clustered now. That
they are. Saving
grace have the guard. Yeah,
the saving grace being the guard. Guard's the one that could do the most damage. Tough for Schwaller now. She only has 3 rocks to come. Has to find a way to generate a couple of points. It's not going to be easy now.
looking at just a straight freeze here. I think the problem with the straight freeze is you make it good enough, Laurie's just going to throw a guard.
Yeah.
I think you need to look at moving something here.
Yeah, I think I do too. Bump that top one into the open a little bit would help. Maybe not enough, but it's just number 3 probably. But right now you got to be number 1 and 2 when you're done, so it's going to be tough.
She's still got the corner guard she could run in. Now she's not going to do it until her last stone.
Yeah.
And right now she can't get all 3 reds off that, I don't think, but she could get 2 of them.
Yeah.
So Laurie has to be a little careful playing this, that she doesn't line something up to clip on that back red stone. And I don't think they've even looked at that.
No. She playing straight guard here or coming right on top?
I think she's coming right on top.
Yeah.
I'd be tempted to throw the guard. Just because if you come right in and you set up a bad angle,
yeah,
that angle run-in is there for, potentially really big score.
Yeah.
Right now it's not, because there's no way to get it to clip the stone in the back. You'd hate to leave an angle where something would go onto that back one.
Yeah, exactly. Looks like they're going.
They are playing the straight guard.
It's going to be just what they wanted. Schwaller can come around on the out turn and move at least that back red one.
Well, yeah, I'm
not going to.
Does that help you? I'd be tempted to run the corner in now.
Yeah.
Because with where that guard ended up, you run the corner in, you kill 2 reds. Yes, you'll open the 2 in the 12-foot, but those will be 4th and 5th. I don't know if Laurie hits those or not. But if you make the angle run in right now, run it right into the middle of the blue red at the top. So the 2 reds go.
Yeah.
You're probably sitting 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and shot rock at the back of the 4-foot is open.
Yeah. She's opted for the draw, her intern draw to the back one. Would be shot if she makes this. She just can't afford to make it and move it much.
Well, I'm not seeing how you ever score more than 2 playing anything other than a hit here.
Well, you definitely don't know.
Yeah, I'd have been, even if you're playing the back one, I think you hit it. And then you're still hoping for an angle run in for a pile.
Yeah. So it's not getting any easier for Team Schwaller here.
Laurie wondering if she even needs to throw this. Like, there's a shot there for 1. I guess you can guard that. She's probably going to have to look at that angle running. I'm just not sure if there's any. I don't see a. Had she bumped that a little bit farther, there might have been an angle to get all 3 of them. I'm not seeing how it goes right now. If you run the blue corner guard onto the blue that's biting the 4-foot, hit that one first, come across the top of the other red, I still don't know that you can get it on a sharp enough angle to clip the one at the back of the 4-foot.
Yeah, I think, and the corner one is just a little bit too steep of an angle to make the slash triple, because you have to hit the top one just in a position that would make it really difficult to get them all. But Laurie St. George is going to throw the guard on this. Don't want to be too deep on this. She won't be. Good shot for St. George's. Not sure what Schwaller has left. She probably doesn't have any kind of a draw for shot.
Nope. That angle run in to make the double on the Reds might score you 1.
Yeah. It might be the one. Right now, I don't. Could you ever run? Let's say you run the red one that Laurie just threw.
Just threw. That's what I'm looking at too.
It's the other red one pretty much on the nose.
Yeah.
And those two reds go
slightly across the face. Yeah. It might be there. I mean, it's the only one that might be there. Like nothing else looks like it's there.
No. You could probably do the same thing with this red one that she's standing beside, actually, and get that same result. But
you'll never get it to spin out, though. Like
no.
If you're throwing the one she just threw, slightly across the face of the one on the 12-foot, so that it comes straight back, clips the other two reds, and then you'll get a little bit of action off it. It's probably going off the blue, but it might spin out the front.
Well, she's checking them all anyways. Recognizing that no matter what it is, it's going to be super hard, but you got to figure out which one's the best option to get you to, first of all, if there is an option, and if not, at least which one gets you best chance of scoring.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you still playing if you only score 1?
Yeah, probably. You know what? If you score 1, you're probably playing. I mean, we do see sometimes teams stealing 2 to win and stealing 2 to force extras and things like that. So I think you're definitely playing if you score 1. But and they're young, they want to play. So, but if the other team scores, then I think you're done. So she is playing the blue corner into the pile. We'll see what she gets. No,
that stuffs it.
Yeah. So Team Schwaller gives up 2 here. St. George's will have an 8-2 lead after 6, and I suspect this is it, and it is. So George's advances to the semifinals at 11:30 today, and Schwaller is eliminated. But a good run for Team Schwaller. Young team coming here and playing and qualifying is a nice thing to have on your resume. So good for them. And we will join you again around 12:30 here on Curling Stadium for the semifinals of the Swiss Chalet Women's Curling Stadium Spiel. Shawn, any final thoughts on this one?
Certainly a strong game for the St. George team. They came out firing, played very well, and they'll hope to carry that forward into the semifinal. And for Zoe Schwaller, as you said, young team, but they had a good event, just came out a little flat today, struggled early, and you get down against a good team, it's just really tough to come back.
Yeah. So a reminder, all the games today are going to be on our YouTube station and at Curling Stadium, North Bay. We're here from the North Bay Granite Club for the semifinals at 11:30 Eastern Time. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you in a few hours.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
'Tis the season to enjoy Swiss Chalet's festive special. Canada's favorite rotisserie chicken, cranberry sauce, stuffing, Lindor chocolates, and a scratch and win card where everyone's a winner. Your favorite tradition, the festive special. Only $17.99, only at Swiss Chalet.